All right, I got Stacey Snowden here. The last time I interviewed you, your father Fred was put into the Pac-12 Hall of Fame. This is another great honor of you being able to sit and talk with some of his players and some of the fans and families. I mean, just talk about what this night means to you.
Oh, this is just such a wonderful, wonderful night for me. First of all, that Bob and Bev Elliott opened an African American museum of Southern Arizona is just amazing. There's a beautiful display in there of many of my father's awards and things over the years, over his life. This being the 50th anniversary of McHale Center opening, and also the 50th anniversary of my father's historic hiring.
Right.
You know, I know, and I'm not sure if all of Tucson knows, Fred Snowden was the first African-American head coach at a major university, major conference in the country. And oftentimes I think that that's forgotten. And, you know, my father's a historical figure. So this all coming together at the same time and it being the Elliott's Museum and the 50th anniversaries and Black History Month is just wonderful, incredible. And I'm just proud to be a part of this. Talk about my father, his legacy, and share more about him.
What do you think he would be thinking right now? Or what is he thinking right now? Because he's probably looking down on us right now.
Oh, he's looking down on us, and I think he would just be loving every minute of this. Yeah,
right.
He would.
So,
seeing all of his, you know, some of his old players here and coaches here, and just everyone celebrating him and his legacy. I mean, he was, you know, a quiet man, you know, privately.
Right.
But this, I think he would really love. He'd really enjoy.
Right. I mean, you talk about the 50th anniversary of McHale, the 50th anniversary of his hiring, and you're here in a cinema being able to talk about it with this crowd. It kind of feels like it was meant to happen, right? I mean,
it does.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like, you know, here. This is all coming together at a very special time.
Yeah.
And you know, you know this, you know, I've been working for a few years on trying to tell my father's whole, you know, story, and through film. And as I was preparing for that, you know, I came across his manuscript, which was his whole story from his days being born in Brewton, Alabama, going to Detroit, his influences, how he came to Tucson, how he almost didn't. He almost didn't come to Tucson. I'll talk about that more tonight. But yeah, it was a remarkable story. He was really torn. So.
Well, I've told you this before. He's a big part of my family's life because when we were little, he welcomed us into the locker room. You know, you don't see a lot of head coaches do that kind of thing. But not only did he welcome us in the locker room, he was kind of like he almost took it on like a dad figure. He's like, "How you doing? You know, how's school? That kind of stuff." And then I got to interview him when I became a reporter, and I reminded him of that. And he didn't remember it because he's knew so many people. But just the chance to interview him as a reporter after that and talk to him about his glory days, that was awesome. And it's great that you're doing this and there's people know about him.
That's what I want. I want people to know about him, know about his legacy. They need to know who Fred Snowden really is, who he is to Arizona basketball and to Black history.
Right, exactly. Well, I'll let you save your breaths or your voice for up here, and it's great seeing you.
Thank you, Javier.
Thank you.